How's it going, YouTube? Here we are up to the next Throwback Thursday video. We talk about games that have brought memories between gamers alike. So let's go ahead and see what we've got to talk about today, and that would be Sonic the Hedgehog. So let's go ahead and delve into the history behind this game. It's a platform video game. It was developed by Sonic Team, published by Sega for the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive. It was first released in North America, Europe, Australia on June 23rd of 1991. It's the first in the series, and it basically chronicles the adventures of a character that you play as, which is Sonic, and he defeats the series antagonist, which is Dr. Robotnik. And it focuses on Sonic's efforts to stop his plans for world domination by releasing animals that have been trapped by Dr. Robotnik himself, while collecting 6 magical emeralds known as the Chaos Emeralds. Now let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the gameplay in general. It's a 2D side-scrolling platformer, just like I mentioned above, and the gameplay centers around his ability to run at high speeds through all the levels. Levels include obstacles like springs, slopes, high falls, and loop-the-loops. The levels are populated with hazards, which are robots, which I also explained above, the badniks. Basically it's animals that Robotnik has trapped from the island by putting them in these robots, and these robots, they basically follow every one of his commands. Now what we basically do is you destroy them throughout the game, releasing them. Now at the end of each level, when you fight Robotnik, you actually release them from their little prison, I guess, and that frees all of them in that area. Now, for Sonic's attacks, you got the spin attack, which he curls them into a ball, rotates rapidly, damaging all enemies in front of them, and it also helps you get destroying certain obstacles. This can also be performed in the air by jumping or pressing down the D-pad while moving on the ground. Now, scattered around all of these levels are what called gold rings. Collecting 100 gold rings gives you an extra life. Now these kind of act like as a layer of protection, kind of like Crash Bandicoot with the mask, or Spyro with Sparks the Dragonfly. Basically, once you get hit, though, you lose all your rings. And if you get hit with no rings, you basically die. And then that's the end of that. Then you go to... I can't remember if there are checkpoints. There are checkpoints in this game, and you either start at those, or if you run out of life, you just have to start the game all over, which really sucks, because I would hate to be at the very end and then die and then have to start all the way over. Let's see what else we got going on here. The game is also split up into 6 zones. You have the Green Hill, the Marble, Spring Yard, Labyrinth, Starlight, and Scrap Brain. Scrap Brain's my favorite. I just love the style of it and all that. It's also split into 3 acts, each of those are. Now you must navigate through each zone to progress, and at the end, like I said before, you fight Dr. Robotnik at each of them, and then after beating him, you release all of the animals that he has captured in that area. Now, if you also reach the end of Act 1 and 2, not 3, because the third one's where you actually meet Dr. Robotnik at the end, if you're holding at least 50 rings, a large ring will appear which will transport you to a special stage. In this special stage, this is where you basically collect the Chaos Emeralds. Now this stage can get really annoying because you have these little discs that you can bounce off of, and if you hit these, like, I can't remember what they're like, little red and blue, they flash. If you hit those, then that ends the entire special stage. It gets really annoying once you get further in. It's easy, some of them are pretty easy and self-explanatory, and they kind of bring you on one path, but there's certain ones where there's like different paths that branch off, and then you could either hit the end of the level without getting a Chaos Emerald, or make it to that one. Like, it gets really annoying. I don't think I've actually ever collected them all on the regular Sega Genesis. I might have, I'm not sure, but you know, with ROMs and emulators, you're able to save your state. So that's when I actually collected them all and actually tried. Also, if you have a PS3, which I have, I actually downloaded the game. They have it on the network, and I think they have a save option in that one. So I think I did it there. I don't play ROMs or emulators because that's bad. You shouldn't do that. But yeah, that's basically it. I mean, not really much to say. I mean, this was my first game that I ever played. The first system I owned was a Sega Genesis, and this is the first game I played was Sonic 1, or Sonic the Hedgehog, the first one. And then ever since then, you know, I mean, I know Sonic's newest games are, you know, kind of falling downhill, kind of like not getting to where they need to be. The last good Sonic game that I actually enjoyed was the, what's it called, where you play as Modern Sonic and then Classic Sonic. I can't believe I forgot that game. But y'all know what I'm talking about. That's the last game that I actually thought was actually pretty decent. I just loved how they kind of revamped the classic Sonic levels. It was really enjoyable. And yeah, I mean, that's basically it. Sonic 2, that's when my brothers started playing games together with Sonic 2. Of course, the whole co-op part of that was very awkward because there was only one screen. Unless you were doing the race, which was 2 screens. But playing the campaign together was pretty terrible because you could either leave one character behind or the other guy will leave you behind because it's just one screen. And it gets really, I think it actually follows Sonic. If the character's Tails, then you're pretty much screwed if you can't keep up with it, which is really hilarious. But yeah, I mean, now we're going off and talking about other Sonic games. We need to stick on this one. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this right here. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Go ahead and put in the comments what game you'd like me to talk about next Thursday, and I'll go ahead and get on that. The one with the most. If there's multiple, I'll look at the one that's the most picked, I guess. Or if there's like different ones and none of them are the same, then I'll just look through them and see which game I actually played from that list. But until then, guys, like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. And as always, I hope you all have a great day and game on.